Good morning, guys. MWUSA Season 4, Episode 20. I am just leaving home. It is so dark outside. It's 6 o'clock, and it is very dark. So early that the lady who walks the dog early in the morning isn't even out yet. But it's just me and the construction worker in the neighborhood who is leaving home at the same time as me right now. Yesterday ended up being a decent day. Made whatever, 380, 390 on the stock market. Just in that one, it's like an hour and a half long bet that I did, and made what, for 600? No, 495, almost 600 at the casino on the same machine at two different sessions. So that was good. And made a little bit, like $100 on something else I do online. And I finally got paid for my last shipment that I sent out of what I'm selling. I didn't get paid actually till this morning. I was up at 3 a.m. and it hadn't come in yet, but now it's in. So that's good. Which is just in time because my next shipment arrived last night. And I'm just waiting for the price to normalize a little bit. It's a little bit off right now, and I will get that sent probably today or tomorrow, hopefully, at least make the sale. Ripple came back a lot. It had fallen from like 340 down to 286 maybe, or 266, one or the other, and now it's back to like 320, so that's good. So everything is going the right direction. Although we're picking up scraps here and there, we are making it. And today we're going to work on our blackjack, and I really don't want to end the month with a negative on the blackjack, which means we have to make $6,000 the next 3 days on blackjack, which is possible, but if we don't make it, we don't make it. We just take things one step at a time and pick up money wherever we can. So this morning, it's actually the warmest it's been in a long time. I think it's going to be like this for a few days at least. It's 36 degrees outside, and people will finally be able to take down their Christmas lights and things because it's been so cold since really early December. I would take some stuff down when I would come home from work because that would be the peak temperature for the day usually. And I would pull 100 lights or whatever down, or something big down, and take it in the house. So we got about half of them to go. We could probably knock those out in the next couple days. So that's all good. I can't get over how dark it is, though. It must be cloudy or no moon or something today. But we're just getting going. I'm fresh. I'm ready to go. So we're going to get on the road here shortly, about 10 minutes away from getting on the highway, and I'll be back to update you. Alright guys, I am back. So the sun is up. It's 36 degrees outside. Looks like a nice day today. I just fueled up, so should have enough gas for most of the trip, and still on my way to the first casino. And I should get there pretty early, but two meetings just popped up on my calendar, which was supposed to be clear today, and both of them are from these Europeans. And the first one starts about 40 minutes after I get to my first casino, and that meeting is supposed to be a prep meeting for the second meeting. So I'm not very excited about that. That's an hour out of my day, and that hour was supposed to be spent driving. So that's going to slow me down quite a bit for today. Unfortunately, this jump on time here that I had, I was going to be about an hour ahead all day. Now that's going to be erased. So very frustrated with that. Hopefully this prep meeting can be like 5 or 10 minutes long. I can drive for 20 minutes and then do the other meeting, and hopefully that will be short, but who knows. Just the fact that you have to go and stop and go and stop again, that takes time, and it's very frustrating. So anyway, got my laptop sitting next to me here and getting close to my first casino, and I'll be back to update you soon. All right, guys, I am back. So I had like 35 minutes by the time I got in there, and I get in there, start looking around, and it looks like someone's already been there, which is what I expected. But actually, the person I was thinking had not been there. In fact, as I was leaving, he was coming in, and I asked him if he was already there, and he said that he had a late start today and couldn't get in. So I really didn't find much. I saw a really borderline play, under $1 a spin when I got in there, and I didn't feel that it was worth my time because it was borderline and it was a very small return, and I had a limited amount of time. And so I kept on going. I looked around at a few other things. I found a couple small plays, and I was ahead like 90 something dollars on those. And then I went to this one machine that took about 10 minutes to check, and found an almost play, but it wasn't worth it, so I didn't play that, and continued on and found one other play and lost about $30 on that one. So by that time I was looking at my watch at the time, and I was running out of time. I looked at a few more things on my way out, and ended up leaving ahead $64. There were some big plays that were borderline, and if somebody needed a lot of points, they might play them, but they're high variance and they're very big plays, $20 and $30 a spin, and it just would not have been worth it for me. And even if it had worked out for me, if it was worth it, I wouldn't have done it right away because I had that meeting. I would have probably done the meeting, come back in. So I ended up going back to the car. That's where I saw that guy just coming in. Talked to him for a minute, and he is very frustrated. This is an area I talked about maybe a week ago, maybe 2 weeks ago, where it's a small area, and the casino is big, but not a lot of people in the area. And all of a sudden, a bunch of Chinese people are in here now, and they're just relentless. And he says they're in here 24 hours a day. I didn't really notice them while I was in there, but I believe him because he's in there probably 10 or 12 hours a day. So he was telling me that he hasn't been able to find any kind of plays in a couple weeks because of that, and he was very frustrated. So that's bad because now a lot of the people from here will be pushed out to a further casino, which is also a casino that I visit, so there's going to be even less there. So that's very frustrating for everyone. Then we had a meeting with the manager from Europe, and talked to her for a while, and that was a very frustrating call because me and the other person on the call had chatted before this and said there really isn't anything to talk about. It's pretty clear, and we're wasting a half hour on the pre-meeting and a half hour on the meeting itself. We get into that meeting, and she says, there's been some miscommunication and they have a lot of questions, so I'd like to streamline. I'm like, okay, everybody wants to streamline, let's do that. So she wants everyone in her region to email her with every problem they have in one email, and then she's going to schedule another meeting with us, have us go through that email item by item, and she's going to create another email to reply to everybody, which is just, I don't think that's very streamlined, but I think you have a meeting, you get everything out, and you're done. But she claims that it's hard for them to understand, but they all speak English, and she claims because last time we sent them directions and they replied to those directions and we replied back, now it's frustrating for them to scroll down in the email to see what we sent them, so they want a new email. And it's like, all you got to do is delete the 2 new emails and keep the original one. So now we have to recreate the email that we sent last Thursday so that they have it at the top of their list and they can look at it. Very ridiculous. Yeah, and I think I talked about this before. This happened in Canada with me, where they told me that they have a union for the casino, and they negotiated that the spots where you put your chips, where you bet, were closer to the dealers so they wouldn't have to reach as far to pick them up. So whatever. Don't get me started. So that meeting took about 10 minutes. So right now I'm going to try to drive like 15 or 18 minutes and pick another exit, pull over, get ready for the other meeting, talk to the people, and then continue on my trip. But hopefully I can pick up a little bit of the time that I would have otherwise lost. So continuing on, I'll be back. All right, guys, I'm back. That took about 15 minutes. Just trying to get back on the highway now to continue my trip. And the best moment in the meeting was after we talked about everything that I had just told you about a little bit ago. The manager says to the European team, okay, so we've discussed this and this and this. How does that make you feel? Feelings. Feelings. Whatever. I mean, is it business or is it feelings? I mean, it gets so far away from business eventually that nothing gets done, and you have people like me working 10 hours a week and getting all the work done that everybody else does in 40 hours. For years, even for the last 10 years, I've heard people saying, Joe, why did you do that so fast? You got to take your time. Yeah, so a little bit ridiculous. So my job becomes keeping my teams active 40 hours a week. So it looks like I'm sitting in front of my system when really I've already finished all the work, but that's all right. Continuing my trip, I am about 45 miles away from my next stop. And I'll be back to update you. All right, guys, I am back. So just played my first blackjack session. I looked at slots first, but didn't find anything. So I played some blackjack. I was trying to find a low limit table, but had a real hard time finding anything. Finally, I found a table. We got like 1 or 2 tables open. And this is a place that normally would have 15 or 20 tables open sometimes. So I sit down, I buy in for 500 reluctantly because I wasn't going to sit down. It was halfway through, about 2/3 of the way through the shoe. And I'm like, they're not going to give you a new shoe because it's low limit. But waited and waited and waited, and they never switched it out. So I walked up, I bought in for 500. I figure I'll just bet minimum. And the guy says, would you like a new shoe? I said, heck yeah, give me a new shoe. So he did that and started playing. And actually had some decent variance and ended up getting up at the end of a shoe ahead exactly 600. It's a good first session. And we're going to try to come back here in a little bit and have another session when more tables open up. But for now, it's a nice little down payment for what we need. And plus 600, going to go look at slots again and then come back and report to you in a little bit. All right, guys, I'm back. So I played that blackjack. I was ahead 600 on that. And then looked for slots everywhere. I found one play after a lot of looking, and I made like $16 or $17 on that one. And then played another one, lost a few bucks on that one, and ended the slot session ahead $4. So plus 4 on the slots, plus 600 on the blackjack. And I was gonna order some food and wait until they open up some more tables, because it's still morning, but it's too early to even order any kind of lunch. So I'm gonna take a trip to another casino not too far away, and we'll try to get some slots in there because their blackjack won't be open yet either. Try to play a few slots, hopefully make 100 or 2, and then we'll come back here and try to get some blackjack in. I did make probably like 120, 130 on the drive here also, and got a lot of manual work to do inputting stuff into my Excel worksheet. But if you can buy and sell stuff and make 2%, and you can do it 10 times, 20 times a month, then it becomes, how much money do you want to have outstanding that you're waiting for? And that's the problem that I have right now is, my limit is like 8,000 or 9,000 that I'm waiting for, and I don't want to go beyond that. But I'll try to turn that money around as much as possible. I'll go above 8,000 or 9,000 if it's more than one company, but if it's one place, that's too much to have all my eggs in one basket, so to speak. But anyway, we're doing fine. We're going to go play some slots, and I'll be back to update you. Alright guys, I'm back. And as expected, not really much there, but it did waste a little bit of time, and I'm heading back to the other casino. I did find one machine to play. There was 3 of them, and there was a lady in the middle. I checked the one on the left, I checked the one on the right, and she was really annoyed. Like, she hit a bonus on it as I was checking the first one, and she refused to push the button to start the bonus because I was there. I go around to the other side, and as I'm walking around to that side, she pushes the button to start the bonus. I sit down on the other side, and she's like, ugh, like I'm gonna cause her to have bad luck or something. So I check the other one, I leave, and then I'm watching her. She gets up, I'm starting to walk over, and she sits at the one behind it. So I'm like, all right, I'll go check some other stuff and then come back, which I did. Come back, and there's one play on that one, and I sit down, I play that one. It's a $5 a spin play, but generally these are going to be 20 spins or less. So after a few spins, I hit it and got a small payout, and did that. I had $34, so plus 34. I went and looked at blackjack, and there were only 2 low limit tables open, no high limit tables open, and both of them have already started the shoe, even though not very much, but they've already started. So I decided just to sit back and back count, and made it look like I was watching the baccarat and I was just looking around. Otherwise, I was counting both of those at the same time, and they stayed neutral and negative the whole time I was standing there. So finally I decided to leave when it got to the point where it's not going to pull out by the end of the shoe, and we still had a little ways to go. So I ended up walking away with just the plus 34 on the slots. Now I am heading back to the casino that I was earlier, and we're going to try to play some blackjack, maybe even get some free food, maybe play some slots, you never know. And then I'll be back to update you. Alright, guys, how stupid are people, really? How stupid are they? I just sat at a table, I watched this table forever, got to a good count, the end of the shoe, and I sit down, I'm getting ready to get in, old man gets up, so it's just me and a young guy. I put out a $50 bet, it's toward the end of the shoe, positive count, and it's like a true 2 or 1.5, somewhere in there, but I missed a few cards at the beginning. And he's got an ace-5 against a face card. Ace-5 against a face card. And he stays. I said, are you sure? And he's like, yeah. And of course he loses. And then, so we play a few more hands. I'm up like $50. And it's back to about neutral, betting minimum or so. And he gets another hand. He gets 6-8 against a 6, because he had a 14 against a 6, and he goes to hit it, and I said, do you want to hit that? And he's like, no, I'll stay. I'm like, if you don't know how to play, why are you here? What are you doing? And he was down like $1,000 for that shoe, and he's playing like that. So I don't know what his deal is, but I finally got up. I was even for the table, but it's like, if you don't know how to play, why are you even here? It's like so ridiculous. So anyway, I'm going to the poker area. I may sit down, maybe not, we'll see, and figure out what to do from there. So I'll be back. Alright guys, so I'm back. So not very good. Couldn't find any tables to play. I had the one table where the guy was playing ridiculously. At the same time, an Asian lady came to the table, bought in for $125, all small bills. Took forever to count them. Then she wanted 10 $2.50 chips to bet the side bet with. I didn't even know you could do that. Most places, it's got to be in dollar increments, so it's easier to do the payout. And she's betting $2.50 on the side bet, playing slow. Other guy doesn't know how to play, and he's making really bad decisions for himself. I mean, it doesn't affect me in the long run, but I just couldn't watch it. The count went down, and there was just no reason for me to stay at that table, so I ended up leaving the table even. I played a couple slots, but this young Chinese girl was all over the place, checking everything repeatedly. Even while I was there, she checked the same stuff again and again, even stuff that was taking 5-7 minutes to check, and she was just hammering it nonstop. So didn't really have that many options. I ended up leaving ahead $5 on the slots, and that's really all I could do. So right now we're going to move on to another casino and see if we have some better opportunities there, and I'll be back to update you. Alright guys, I am back. I was in there entirely too long. Saw a lot of people that I knew in there, and they told me that this company's win-loss statements were out. And I'm like, oh, man, I can't wait to see it, because I hope I kept my total negative. I think I posted on YouTube for the Venetian, I was like plus like only 6, I don't know what it was. I know it was positive, but I tried to keep it as close to 0 as I could. Let me bring this up and take a look, because I posted it. So I don't know where it is. Anyway, not to hold everybody up here. It was a PDF, but I did post it on YouTube. And you know, the whole point of all this is to make it negative if possible. You don't want the casinos to think that you're making a profit. I'm going to bring up YouTube real quick. Hopefully it doesn't play a video. I don't want to try a free month. And let me go here and here, and there it is right there, and it shows that I had a total win-loss of minus $400. Even though I had $19,000 in wins, it looks like I only lost $400, or I did lose $400. Now with this company, I wasn't so lucky. I did have some bigger wins, and I went to like 6 of their locations, and unfortunately 3 of the 6 show a big gain, but 3 of them show a small loss. So overall I still show like a $25,000 win, which is not good, but it could have been a lot more, so at least it wasn't worse than that. And that all has to do with trying to keep your wins lower by doing the right thing at the right time, which we talked about. And one of the ladies that was there, she was bragging because hers showed a $6,000 profit. I'm like, why do you want to show a profit? And she's like, oh, well, I want to win. I'm like, I know, but you don't want to get banned. Oh, they'll never ban me. So, okay, that's fine. So she's one of these ones that knows what she's doing, but then wastes all the money back. So she made $6,000 last year, and she was trying to show a profit. Anyway, wasted a lot of time in there. I was involved for a total of 500, up and down, up and down. Not a lot of plays, but some crazy plays. And I ended the session ahead $2. 2 big ones, $2. And I had some free food that I didn't want, so I got a couple bags of pretzels and some Red Bulls just to keep in the car for now. And that's going to be it for there. And we're going to continue on. Right now it feels like it's so warm. You see, it's 43 outside, very sunny, very bright outside. And we're moving on, and I'll be back. Alright guys, I'm back. Just filled up gas again. What a day it's been today. You should have seen that Asian lady sitting at the blackjack table with me, hawking up a storm, coughing into her hand, into tissues lying all around the table. getting out 5s and 10s to make up her $125 buy-in. Just disgusting. The stuff I saw today was kind of crazy. All the Chinese people nonstop taking over these rural areas. It's been pretty crazy. Right now, heading toward home, and gonna rest up, and tomorrow gonna be right back out there. Today looks like I only made about $700 or so. We got to step it up. We got to get more sessions in. Hopefully tomorrow will be better. We'll see. One step at a time, as always. So right now I'm just going to continue my trip, get home. I got to take my kid to GameStop because during Christmas he got one of those subscriptions to GameStop. It's like a pro subscription or something like that, and he gets $5 a month and free stuff. Well, the subscription was discounted to like $15. So every month he gets $5 in free stuff. So he goes in and he gets Pokemon cards for it. So we'll be going there tonight to do his January one. And he wants to check how many points he has, because maybe he can get another $5 worth of stuff. So it's a nice little bonding experience. And he enjoys that stuff. I enjoy doing stuff with my kids as well. So anyway, gonna head home, and I'll be back with you tomorrow. If you have any questions or comments, my email is mwusa21@gmail.com, mwusa21@gmail.com. See you next time.